everyone. This is the 10 o'clock YouTube live session with me today. I am Dr. Gloria's Field, and I appreciate everyone who is able to make it today. I appreciate the encouragement I have received from viewers, friends, subscribers, and learners in my community because you have asked me to do more with technology, and today I am. The purpose of this session today is always to help you learn more about the American English language and culture. What I would like to do is help anyone who is listening to listen more carefully. I've worked with many students who have had classes with me or private sessions with me, and they indicated that sometimes the questions were asked during their citizenship interview in a way that wasn't extremely clear to them. And for that reason, I needed to make this video and have this session to help to clarify and make easier the citizenship process, especially the exam. So the first thing I want to talk about is cultural. When I have had study sessions with my students, we came across yes or no questions. I like to say it this way. Yes, we agree with the things we have studied. This statement is something we agree with, yes, based on what we have studied. Or, no, we don't agree. That statement is not something we agree with based on our studies. Now, after you become new Americans and you've moved onward and upward, you will have more challenging tests than just the citizenship test. And you might come across true or false questions. They're very similar to yes or no questions. One way I like to describe it is to say something is true based on what I studied, or something is untrue or false based on what I've studied. So now what I'm going to do is share the 100 civics questions, not all, just a few, to give you a model on how you can be more clever when you're listening to the questions in your interview. Whether they're the 100 civics questions or the Form N400 questions that are asked during the interview, or just general questions that the interviewer or examiner might ask during the meeting. I want you to be prepared, possibly over-prepared for everything. And in this manner, I have had a very high record of students who studied with me and passed their tests. So again, I thank you for joining me. I want to test your English comprehension by asking questions. I'm going to make a statement and I'm going to say yes or no, or true or false. And you are free to leave a message in the chat box saying yes or no, or true or false. This is your choice. So please listen carefully because some of the questions might be tricky. Let's begin. The Declaration of Independence is the supreme law of the land. Yes or no? The Declaration of Independence is the supreme law of the land. No, it's the Constitution, isn't it? So that would be false or no. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, not the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution sets up the government. Yes or no? Yes, we can agree with that based on what we studied. The Constitution does set up the government. What about this question? We the people are the first three words in the Federalist Papers. Isn't that right? Yes or no? The answer is no. We the people are the first three words of the Constitution. Life and liberty are two rights in the Declaration of Independence. Yes or no? The answer is yes, right? We know that from question number 9. Two rights in the Declaration of Independence are life and liberty. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States. Yes or no? Is that true? Or maybe it's untrue. It's true, isn't it? The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States. Let's look at some more. The last 10 amendments to the Constitution are called the Bill of Rights. Yes or no? The answer is no, isn't it? Because the first 10 amendments to the Constitution are called the Bill of Rights, not the last 10. It's the first 10. Would you say that freedom of religion means you can practice any religion or no religion? Yes or no? The answer is yes, isn't it? Freedom of religion means that you can practice any religion, or you don't have to practice a religion at all. We celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of June. Yes or no? The answer is no, isn't it? We celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July. Have you been listening carefully so far? I haven't changed my expression. I've been very serious about the way I'm asking questions. And I'm doing that so that it's hard for you to tell if it's a joke or if it's serious. My sincere hope is that you will be prepared when you go into your interview for a person who has a serious face like I have right now, but might be asking you a tricky question to test your English comprehension. Let's try a few more. American Indians is a group of people taken to America and sold as slaves. Yes or no? Is that true? Or is that not true? Is it false? The answer is no, right? It was Africans or people from Africa are the group of people taken to America and sold as slaves. Let's see. How about another question? Adams is the father of our country. Yes or no? That one's almost too easy, isn't it? The answer is no. Washington is the father of our country. President Wilson was president during the Great Depression and World War II. Yes or no? The answer is no, isn't it? It was Roosevelt. Roosevelt was president during the Great Depression and World War II. The United States fought Japan, Italy, and Germany in World War II. Yes or no? The answer is yes, isn't it? In World War II, the United States fought Japan, Italy, and Germany. Now I'd like to take a moment and switch up the trick questions. I've already shared with you in the description box a link to some questions that I created for my students many months ago. They're in the style of the game of Jeopardy. So I left the link for you so that you can go in and look at the activity for yourself. In this activity, I provided the answer to the question, and the students had to provide the question. This is meant to help you memorize the answers and the questions for the 100 questions civics test. Many students have raised the concern that they have studied with me and might not have studied up until the point of taking the test. Maybe they stopped studying with me and then 2 or 3 weeks later they took a test. Sometimes it's hard to remember everything if you haven't reviewed in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe even longer. So this is a tool that I'm giving you, and you can use your phone to access the link. You can use any device, a phone, a tablet, or your computer. And when you click on the Jeopardy numbers, under the categories, the answer shows up. Then you have to provide the question. Of course, there's a button to click for the question to show up, and then you actually know the complete answer. So I'm going to do a little bit of that drill with you right now to give you a sample of what you can use. My sincere hope is that you will use this set of questions that I prepared for you in your studies to prepare for your citizenship test. All right, so I'm first going to the subject of the 1900s for 100. The answer is World War II. Is the question. Name one war fought by the US in the 1900s. That's the question. The answer is World War II. Let's look at 1800s for 100. The answer is the Civil War. Do you remember the question? Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. There's the question. The answer was the Civil War. Did you get that one? Let's try a few more. You see how it makes you reverse the process in your head. Instead of just having a question and an answer in the standard way, you have to reverse that and start with the answer and go back to the question. You're actually working backwards, and you will know how to answer these questions, whether forwards or backwards. Sometimes the examiner will do that. You know that part of the application form in 400 that asks you if you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? The examiner might ask you this question: what is the Constitution? Now that's the opposite of the way it appears on the list of 100 questions. What is the Constitution? It is the supreme law of the land. But you know that question number 1 says, what is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. The very first question, question 1, what is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. So it helps to learn the questions in the standard format and then to reverse it and to learn them in the reverse format. So that's why I used the Jeopardy game feature that I found online. And I'm using that now to help all of you who are listening. Let's go to questions about the flag for 100. The answer is because there are 50 states. What is the question? Do you remember? Why does the flag have 50 stars is the question. So we started with the answer, and I gave you the question. And good morning, my student, Siddiqui. Thank you for joining me this morning. We were just talking about trick questions, and I modeled the way a yes or no question could be formed so that you really have to listen carefully and answer the question accurately. I've also been reviewing using Jeopardy style questions in which the answer is given first and the question is given second. I'm going to continue with the Jeopardy questions. I'm going to the subject of the flag for 200. The answer is red, white, and blue. What would be the question? Think back, try to remember. The answer is red, white, and blue. What could be the question? What are the colors of the American flag? I hope you remembered that question because I gave you the answer. Let's do another one. How about the subject of the flag for 300? The answer is because there were 13 original colonies. What is the question? The answer is because there were 13 original colonies. The question is, why does the flag have 13 stripes? I hope you remembered that one. Because remember, sometimes the question could be answered in a different way. Your examiner might ask you the question in a way that you don't remember it exactly as written on the list of questions. But because the content is within the information of the questions or the application, they can ask a tricky question to test your comprehension of English. All right, let me do another one. I'm going to the subject of the 1900s for 200. We talked about this one already earlier. The answer is Japan, Italy, and Germany. What is the corresponding question? The answer is Japan, Italy, and Germany. The question is, who did the U.S. fight during World War II? Did you remember that one? The answer is Japan, Italy, and Germany. Who did the U.S. fight during World War II? That was the question. Let's try the 1800s for 200. The answer is slavery. What was the question? Of course, everything is open note and open book. The idea and purpose of this video is not to just give you a quiz, but to help you to remember and memorize the questions and answers. So of course, I encourage you to use your notes. Slavery is our answer. The question is, name one problem that led to the Civil War. I'm going to move on to the Declaration of Independence for 100. The answer is high taxes. What would be the question? High taxes. Let's think back. using high taxes as our key phrase, what would be asked? Why did the colonists fight the British? Why did the colonists fight the British? High taxes. Let's move on to another. Declaration of Independence for 200. It said the United States is free. It said the United States is free. Does anybody remember that question? What did the Declaration of Independence do? It said the United States is free. What did the Declaration of Independence do? It said the United States is free. I'm going to the U.S. Constitution for 100. The answer is, it sets up the government. We went over that one earlier. The answer is, it sets up the government. What would be the question? It sets up the government is the answer. The question is, what does the Constitution do? What does the Constitution do? Let's try the U.S. Constitution for 200. The answer is 1787. What is the question? And please feel free to write the question into the chat if you know it. The answer is 1787. What is the question? When was the Constitution written? When was the Constitution written? 1787. So I wanted to give an opportunity for questions and answers because I have a few minutes left before I end today's debut live stream. This is my first live stream and I'm having a very nice time doing it. I'm very grateful to everyone who joined me or who listens to this broadcast, either live or after it's been posted. If you find that you have questions or concerns, please do leave me a message in the comments, and I will do my very best to read them all and respond. Today's video had a specific purpose. Number one, my purpose is always to help my students to succeed. Student success is always my first and main goal. I have helped so many students pass tests that were highly challenging for them. TOEFL, IELTS, CASAS, job tests, tests to get a job, or tests to keep a job. So my sincere hope is that this is something that is helping you. And I see the thumbs up and hearts. Thank you very much. So feel free, if you don't think of your questions right now, to just leave them in the comments later, and I will read them. And additionally, I want to express the purpose of this video also was to make sure that you are listening carefully when the question is being asked, and that you don't fall for any tricks that might be set up to test your English comprehension. We've practiced now, and we will do more practice in the future. This will give you a chance to be more familiar with the meanings of the words in those 100 questions and answers, and the meanings of the words on your Form N400 application. I would like to draw your attention to the references. I left some links in the comments below the video about where I looked up the questions that I used for the 100 civics questions review today, plus the fun activity to help you study in the style of the Jeopardy game. So I left the links for both of those for you. I want to thank you so very much for joining me. I'm looking forward to the next live stream. I'm going to wish everyone happy holidays. The next live stream will take place in January. Please watch for details because I'll be a little tied up over the holiday season. So please watch my channel for details, and you can also watch on Instagram. Again, I thank you for joining me. I hope you will like this video, share it. If you're not a subscriber and you'd like to join my community, please do subscribe. And of course, hit the notification bell so that you'll be one of the first to know when my newest videos are released. I'm wishing you the very best today and always, especially with your studies. And I'm ending our live stream now. Have a great day.